Welcome to Sisters in Song. Can you take a minute to tell us who you are and where you're coming to us from?
My name is Angie K, and I'm from Nashville, Tennessee.
Yay.
Hey, the Music City.
I always have to ask, are you a native Nashville person or are you a transplant?
No, definitely a transplant. I actually was born in a country called El Salvador. I moved to the States when I was 11, but mostly Georgia is where I grew up.
Oh, awesome.
Wow, okay.
Cool. Very cool.
Awesome. And how long have you been in Nashville?
Um, like with an address in Nashville, probably like I want to say 8 years, something like that.
So that seems native.
Good,
Yeah.
good chunk of time.
So we'll just get started. Tell us how you got started in a career as a musician.
Yeah, no, I just kind of always loved music, and I remember asking my mom for my first guitar around 13 years old, and I kind of never looked back.
Are you self-taught on the guitar?
Self-taught's just kind of like a silly name now that we have YouTube and all those things because it's like I had so many resources. I mean, I remember YouTube was just starting when I was I don't know, I guess junior in high school or so, sophomore in high school, something like that. And so I remember like it just being like this whole other world where you could like pretty much learn anything. And so I learned from a lot of great people that taught a lot of stuff online. Yeah.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah,
I
you
kind
can
of find
find
it too. Yeah.
you can kind of find anything on YouTube.
Yeah.
I
Which is
agree completely.
that fix a sink, look at YouTube.
Yep.
Learn guitar, look at YouTube.
Yep. Absolutely.
What do you think is the hardest part about your career as a musician?
I think it's you kind of have to have a little bit of a reckless belief that things will work out as a creative because like you kind of go through these periods where you just want to spend the money because you want to make the thing, and
Yep.
it's impossible to know if it's a good decision. In fact, on paper, it most assuredly does not look like a good idea. But you're so driven to make the thing that you have to just believe so deeply that it will all work out. And I'm really, really grateful. This is my fifth record. There's a lot of moments where I was like, I don't know if I could do this again. It's probably the same as a marathon runner, like you're doing it and you're like, you've no doubt asked yourself, like, why am I doing this? I don't feel healthy right now. But you do it and then you look back and you're proud of yourself because you just get a little bit better with every step. And the joy is in the creating something new with a new tool in your tool bag. Like every record, I learned so much more about music and creating, and I kind of get to approach it in a different way every day.
So I'm going to ask a little bit about songwriting. How do you see a song from start to finish? Is it melody first? Is it lyrics first? Or how does that process work for you?
Yeah, I mean, as a pro songwriter, you pretty much just do it every way possible. But I would say to do it consistently, most people's process, including mine, is I have a running massive doc on my phone or, note, and it has like every title and idea that I have. And I usually kind of start with that, see and sometimes the thought is so wildly different than how it turns out. You start over here and then, but it sparks something and you all walk down that road together. But yeah, I think at the beginning, when you're first, when you first start writing music, you write by yourself and then you kind of end up in situations. And I think that's what makes or breaks a lot of people because to do this consistently, I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's extremely difficult to create innovatively all the time in a way that's interesting to you alone. So like
Mhm.
I think that's a huge breaking point for whether people will be in the industry forever or whether they'll be in there for a season. And I think like for me when I came to Nashville, it's uncomfortable at first learning to write with other people. It's hard to be vulnerable and you walk into those rooms and you leave the ego at the door and you're not afraid to say a bad idea because like I said it might walk people down a different path. So like I think the process is letting go of the ego. It's chasing the song, not necessarily a hit because nobody knows what a hit is, but it's fun to say like, oh, this is gonna be a smash in the room. I've said that many times. But like I think you chase what feels good, and the second you stop chasing what feels good is when nobody wants you in the room in the first place. you know.
I really like the way that you put that perspective as the process, not just like I write some lyrics, I do some, so I think that that will be very informative for our listeners to, say, oh yeah, the process is we work towards the song, not so much like letting it own you.
Yeah.
So thank you for sharing. That's cool. Um, what do you do if you get writer's block?
If I get writer's block, there's a really famous book called The Artist's Way. Have you ever heard of it?
Yep, yep.
So I'd heard of it. Everybody's heard about it in town if you stayed here long enough. And I kind of roll my eyes about it, but it's you don't really need to read the book, but basically it has two really important things to do for 12 weeks. You kind of make a commitment for 12 weeks. One of them is journaling every day, which is stream of consciousness. So you don't have to like write anything eloquent. Just like if you write like I hate this, write it 20 times until you have another thought. And it's really nice because the way I describe it is that, like it's almost like it removes the clutter from our brains so we can have longer thoughts. Because clutter is kind of this thing that like it's like trying to walk through a room and things are your attention's constantly everywhere because these things are falling on you and you're whatever, you know? And you're kind of just putting everything in its place because you're acknowledging it. Okay, that's there. That's happening. I should have gone to the gym today. You wrote it down. I acknowledged it. I happened. It's there,
Yep.
you know? And then you're suddenly able to like notice, oh my God, the sunrise is the most beautiful pink today. And then be like, I don't know, pink sunrise would be such a cool name. I'm going to write that in my notes. And like, I feel like that's really helped. And then the second thing that the Artist Way talks about is once a week, you have to take yourself on an artist date. And I think this is so important, especially for like anyone. I'm not a mom, but like, I think all the time about my creative friends that are moms, like that is an order of magnitude more difficult. Not impossible and also beautiful in a lot of ways, but there's a challenge there because you're constantly thinking about the needs of a lot of people and you get joy from serving those people. So you are feeling fulfilled, but at the same time, what's shocking is how many moms can't answer the question. You can't take anyone with you. You have the day off. You can do anything. What do you want to do? What would make you happy? And like, it can't be for your kid. It can't be going somewhere for your husband. It can't be what, you know? And it's shocking to me how many people, especially women, just cannot answer that question.
Yep.
And I kind of shocked myself that I couldn't really answer that. I was like, what is it that I would do outside of, because I mean, my first thing is I just want to tinker on the guitar, but like outside of music, what would I do if I had the day off? And I worked on cars before I played music full time. So I kind of like, I've always had a fascination with airplanes. And that's how I kind of got into slowly but surely working on my pilot's license. And that's brought me a lot of joy and a lot of perspective and allowed me to go back into the industry with a lot more, I don't know, lightness than thinking this is everything, you know?
Yeah,
That's awesome.
that is awesome. And, we've tried to start that book a few times
Yep.
and have struggled with it. And that might be what the problem is we're struggling with that artist date. But I kind of get into the point where I write a bunch and then I go, I don't need to write today, which I need to kick myself in the pants and
Yeah.
actually do it.
Yep.
Well, I think
But-
what I'm learning about habits is you have to find a way to like look forward to them, right?
Mhm.
So I remember I can't remember what book I was reading, or maybe it was like a speech or something that I heard on YouTube. But it was like, if you really want to build a habit, you have to figure out a way to want to do that thing. And I was like, for example, going to the gym in the morning, for me, I would start an audiobook of a fiction book, which I don't read a lot of fiction, but I would start one, the day before, maybe trying to like go to sleep or something and like listen to it for a little bit. And then I can't listen to it again except for at the gym. So like I can't finish. So like, or if it's your favorite TV show, I can't watch it unless I go to the gym. So then I found myself actually being excited to get in the car so I could just turn on the audiobook and find out what happened next, And that was really good for me. But it's like, I think if I could tell like my younger self some advice that I absolutely would not have heard, it would be that like, you don't have to work hard. You just have to find a way to enjoy what it is you're doing. And it's
Yeah.
like, you can do that, but as long as you're not even thinking about like people don't even think about that as a puzzle to solve. They just think like, oh, I'm supposed to work hard. I'm supposed to be miserable. I'm supposed to be whatever. And it's like, no, it's not. It's not supposed to be any of those things. Like, we're not, we're not in a third world country where we're like that worried about what we're able to eat. Like I remember only having $20 to eat off the week, and I could like. You can buy potatoes. You can buy, one thing of ground meat. There's things you could. Aldi is a great place, and it's like, if you find a way, like, how do I enjoy the fact that I can't go out to eat, but I'm gonna really enjoy the fact that I'm gonna learn like one new recipe, or if I can buy one new spice every week. It doesn't matter what it is. But I found the happiest people that I've met, it has nothing to do with money. It's how good they are at doing that.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Yeah, that's a great outlook.
It is.
I love that. So how do you think a song, or when do you feel like a song is truly finished?
When I don't want to work on it anymore.
I love
That's
it.
the truth.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
I still feel like, oh, I can't wait to X, Y, and Z, it's not done. But half
Yeah.
the time I do that thing and I'm like, ah, it was better before, you know? But also, I'm really big about giving myself deadlines when I start a project. And I get excited about the deadlines too. Does that make sense? As much as I get
Yes.
excited to create the
Yeah.
project. So there's never been a single album that I've released where I've loved every song on it, ever. But you gotta remember that you're collaborating with other people. And like, for example, on the not this album, but the album I did last, Stephanie Smith was the producer on it, who's like been a massive mentor to me. She was a BMI Songwriter of the Year. She was out in the 90s. She's just this badass woman. And I loved the demo to this one song so much, but it was a little too pop leaning. And she was like, no, we can make this. We can make this fit the record with real players and thinking about the arrangement. I was like, okay, cool. And it just, to me, feels like a C level of what that demo was. And she knows it. Like, we talked about it, and I'm like, but there's no way to fix it, right? And like, so many people loved that version of it. So I'm not going to throw away thousands of dollars of a song just because it wasn't exactly what I wanted, because it'll teach me something about myself. Like, sometimes the
Mhm.
things that, like Red Dirt on Mars, I thought was a boring song. I thought nobody would want that. I don't think there's a single more respected compliment I get than on that song, because it's always from songwriters that I respect that come up and like, that song, man, you're so known by that song. And I'm like, that song, really? So it's like, sometimes you gotta creative life is learning to let go of the things you create. And the more you learn to let go, the more you know that there'll be another one. And you can always create more. And I think what's scary about that is when you start to see success, there's a very easy trap to fall into that's like, if I didn't get credit on this one song and I did all this stuff, and it's happened, like, people get screwed over all the time in this industry, kind of not necessarily on purpose, but because everybody thinks like, I'm not going to say anything, or I'm not, whatever it is. And it's like, I've seen it happen to my friends, and I just see them just completely deflate, and understandably so. But
Mhm.
also, like, imagine if you really believed you're about to write a song that'll make you 3 times as much. You just got to show up for work tomorrow. And you got to believe that. And that's what you asked, what the hardest thing about being a creative, being a songwriter, being a musician, an artist, believing. And I'm telling you, like, if I have one message for anyone out there, I'm not signed to a label. I've been independent. This is my 5th record. I have a house. I have a good life. I have my dream car, which is a 2010 4Runner that I absolutely adore. Like, I have a dog. I have a wife. I can pay my bills. It is possible to build a life for yourself that is not contingent on anyone else saying you can have this. And like, if I didn't believe that at any point, I wouldn't be here, you know?
Yeah. That just
I
made
me too. I was like, yay! I'm so happy. So thinking of projects and deadlines, tell us about the new album.
Thank you. That's a great leeway there. Yeah, I just released the 3rd single of the album. It's called Contigo. It's actually my favorite just because I can't listen to it and not smile. You know how, like, when you look at someone smiling, you can't not smile, you know?
right.
I
Mhm.
feel like for me, I can feel all of our smiles in the studio making that song. And it just feels light and good, and it feels like the the turn of the road from the last record, which was me releasing a lot of things. And then this one was me like playing with music again, you know, like really just playing. And that song kind of really encapsulates that feeling for me. So I'm excited about this song. I think this is crazy, but I think I might take it to radio, which is pretty wild. I've never done that before. But I was thinking about it. If I hit top 40 with this song, which really isn't that crazy, um, then I'm pretty sure it'd be the first independent bilingual country song on the charts, which would be really cool to have that title, you know? And it's
Absolutely.
like yeah, you know, like,
Totally.
so I'm thinking about doing that, and then the album will come out June 26th. So I always say, like, the last 2 singles are the most important to choose, because those singles are the ones that you get to push all the way till the next record, you know?
Mhm.
So I kind of
Yeah.
think of it like that. So Contigo is one of my favorites, and then I have a focus track of the album called We Won't Go, which is like almost a little Irish inspired, honestly. And just kind of like almost like a chanty, fun, wild song. But I think Contigo might be the one that I kind of lay into all the way till the next record.
Awesome.
Yay.
So this is my own ignorance. Is there always like a set number of singles that you put out with an album, or is there, do you decide that yourself as an artist, or how does that?
Well, I think everybody's process is different, but for me, I pretty much just choose my favorites, and a lot of my favorites change when I play them live. So
I love that.
sometimes you write a song and you're like, "This is the best thing I've ever written," and then you play it live, and it just doesn't feel like it opens your heart up. And then all of a sudden, you play something like a song that I wrote almost like just for fun, like as a throwaway. Country is as country does. I wrote it with somebody from Germany, someone from Kentucky, and we were just talking about things that we loved. And the whole song's like country is as country does. It's like a really fun, tongue in cheek, fun song, and I love playing that live. And I would have never thought that would be one I like. No, I gotta put that one in the set. I always do like a mashup of all my whatever country songs or I'm feeling because it's a 1-6-4-5 progression. So that's like every country song ever. So it's really fun. I really enjoy I enjoy throwing that in the set. But it's like I'm a live musician, so my process really leans heavily on what I want to play for my people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Are you touring the album or starting to tour before the album?
Oh man, as an indie artist, you never stop. You're always playing. I'm New York City tomorrow, and CMA Fest is going to be a really cool set. Are you guys in town for CMA Fest?
Unfortunately, no.
Actually, we might be, because
Is it the same time?
I think we're going to a show at the Ryman. Is it like the June, like 26th, 7th, that weekend?
No, but I play the Opry on the 30th. Yeah, that'd be fun. If you guys want to come, I could probably get you tickets. Just
Oh my
let
gosh.
my PR team know, and I'll hook you up.
I think we leave on the 27th.
Next
we would
time,
be there.
next time.
We'll keep you
The offer
posted.
stands.
We would love to see you. but
Yes,
we
that would be
may-
fantastic.
And at the Opry, how?
Is that your first time at the Opry? Oh, wow.
No,
Yay.
I wouldn't have any extra tickets if it was my first time. That was so crazy. This is my fourth time. Holy cow. Fourth time playing.
Yeah.
the
Very
Opry.
cool.
That's crazy. I am really excited about the CMA Fest show, though. I'm playing the Dr. Pepper Amp stage, which is a pretty big stage. And here's the coolest part. I'm playing after my favorite human being on earth, Melissa Etheridge, who I love. Which, by the way, I got to open for her at the Ryman, which was insane, like years ago.
So cool.
But I'm so excited, but then it made me really nervous because I'm doing something I've never done before at the CMA Fest show. Actually, I did it once at Boots in the Park, but I only looped 2 songs. I have been experimenting with a looper, kind of like Ed
Fun.
Sheeran style.
Yeah.
And it's so fun because you're basically producing a song as you go, but you have to do it quickly. Because to me, I'm like I said, I'm an entertainer. So like, if it takes me longer than 30 to 40 seconds to create the loop, I'm not interested. So like, I have to kind of get these parts down really fast. Think about creative rhythms, creative licks, and then my music theory is so intense because it's like, well, what can I play that sits in all these chords that feels good, and a good layer that I can bring in and out that like lifts it at this part of the sound, and also like what parts in the mid range like it's like so much more thinking and arranging and everything. But on this next one, I'm looping 4 songs on it, and they're all like pretty complex. So like I have to get everything right when I do it, and it's a lot of little tap dancing. But I'm actually wearing a headset, so I can really move around when I do it. So I have like my looping mic, and then that. And then it's just going to be like a party. I'm so excited.
Oh my gosh.
It sounds like I wish we were
much
going to be
fun.
there.
Yes. Yes,
So
absolutely.
fun.
Very, very cool.
Should we do our
Rapid
do it.
fire? Okay, we're going to do a rapid fire with you. Don't worry,
I
it's
love
not
it.
hard.
Okay, coffee or tea?
Ooh. It depends on the time of day because I'm sensitive to caffeine. But I do love a coffee in the morning. A latte, to be specific.
Awesome. Vinyl, cassette, CD, or streaming?
Cassette would be cool, but I haven't played one in a long time. I have gotten into vinyl recently, and I've really enjoyed the process of listening to full LPs.
Yes.
Us
awesome.
too. Yeah. First album you ever bought?
I think it was in the US. I think it was the first album that I was bought for me was probably Britney Spears in El Salvador. Because El Salvador and the Backstreet Boys were really big down there, believe it or not. And then the States, I remember I saved my money. Foo Fighters CD.
Very
I
cool.
listened to it. I had a little CD player, and I listened because I have 4 sisters, and we were going down to the beach, And I went into Walmart and I was like, I had like $20 or something. I'm like, I'm gonna buy something cool. And I like the artwork looked really cool. And I was like, Foo Fighters, yeah. And I was in a little bit of an emo era, thinking I was like so cool. And I like bought this record, and I'm like, oh yeah, rock music. And I mean, up until that point, all I listened to was pop. So like, I was like, this crazy. And I loved that record so much drop D tuning, so many open chords, such great rhythm. I mean, Dave Grohl, like freaking
Yeah.
icon. Yeah, that record, that was a double CD record.
So, worth the buy. Worth the
Right.
buy.
That's right.
Do you have a go-to karaoke song?
I should actually. You want to hear something really embarrassing? Is I had some friends in town, and we went over to like, there's a hotel here. God, is it the Graduate? I think yeah, it's the Graduate. And the bottom level there is a Country Bears thing. Have you ever been to Disney World? You know they have the Country
Yeah.
Bears. It
Yeah.
looks
Yep.
like that in there. There's just like these bears on stage, and they're like animatronic, and they dance and stuff, and they do karaoke there. And I'm like,
Oh,
what is this
funny.
place? And there was maybe 6 people in there. And when I was young, my audition song for this random audition, I don't even remember what it was for. It was "Listen" by Beyonce from that. Listen to the song,
Yeah.
Dream Girls. And I had like one of those little audition books that had the CD with it, so you couldn't like change the key or anything. And when I tell you that that audition was like one of the most traumatic events in my life, I was like, it was so bad. I don't think I could have done a worse job, because it started out well because I sing low, but then Beyonce like just goes to like the freaking sky with it. Like, I mean, just I could not reach any of those notes. Anyway, I don't know what I was thinking. It's like, did I not sing it before? And so I was like, I'm gonna redeem myself this karaoke session. I'm gonna sing this again. And let me tell you, it did not go any better. But I was there with friends, and the 6 people that were in there were like so for me. Like they were like, you got this. Like none of them knew. None of them knew I do this for a living, but other than my friends, which we were laughing so freaking hard. But yeah, so my advice for anyone in karaoke is just like let Beyonce,
Let Beyonce do her thing.
for
Yeah.
God's
Oh,
sake.
yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. We froze a little bit here. Give us one sec.
Oh,
There we go. Now you're back. Okay.
Okay. Do you like to write at night or in the morning?
I like to produce at night, and I like to write in the morning. Like not morning, like 10 o'clock is good, because then I can get some time to go to the gym and like really think about what I'm gonna write, and then the drive over there. I enjoy the process. So like really early won't work well because I'll be still waking up, but I feel like 10 o'clock is great.
Perfect. Do you write lyrics on paper, phone notes, or voice memos?
I've been mostly using my computer lately, but when it comes to titles and so, it's all on voice. It's on voice notes in my and on my notes on my phone is where all my ideas get written down.
Do you have a pre-show pump-up song?
You know, this man, I got slammed for this. I was at this is the hard thing about being in Nashville so long, is all your friends are like in high up places now, but we all like still treat each other the same. And I was at the CMA Award red carpet, and a good friend of mine, Rod, is one of the interviewers, and he like stops me like, Angie, come on, let me ask you a question. I was like, what's up, Rod? Like, and he's like, all right, what you been jamming to lately? Like, what stoked brought up the energy before you came out here tonight? And he's like a good friend of mine, so I don't even think twice. I just tell him exactly what I was listening to, which happened to be Try Everything on the Zootopia soundtrack. And I'm like, all the comments were like, what? But I stand by it. I stand by it. I love that song. If I'm like really tired in the car and I got a little bit further to go, that's my song.
Perfect.
That is perfect.
You know what? It's honest. So whatever.
Yep. Dogs, cats, fish, or birds?
Dog. Who says bird?
No, sometimes I throw in reptiles, but no one ever says that.
Oh, have you interviewed Ali Colleen?
No, not yet.
She would say reptile for sure.
She was, all right. All right. Okay, describe your sound in 3 words.
Fun. What's the word? Like introspective, and this is a weird word, communal, I guess. Like it feels community driven.
What advice would you give to new musicians and or songwriters?
That you don't have to earn it. You're a good. You're just as good. Like there's people that can barely play a G chord that are raking in the money. There's people that can't write a song that are doing a great job. The point isn't earning it; it's enjoying the journey. Like you've already earned it. Like
Yeah.
go learn whatever excites you and get better at that thing. Not because you have to, because it's fun. You know.
Yay. Love it.
Great advice.
Okay, it's time for your shameless plug. Where can we find your music, your website, your if you have Bandcamp or Patreon or any of that, and your social media?
Yeah, you can find me literally everywhere at official Angie and the letter K. Official Angie K.
Very awesome. Thank you so very much for taking the
Yes.
time to meet with us. This has been fantastic. I've learned a lot
I
today.
have too.
No, this is really fun. I enjoyed talking to you guys.